Hey friends. As human beings, we really are meant to ask questions. We're meant to question really everything, right? We're not meant to just accept things. It's just the way they are. That's not really what we're here for. We're here to learn and ascend and grow. And so we need to ask questions. And everybody large scale needs to start asking questions about everything. Their job, their purpose, what's going on with their kids, why society is the way it is, why do we have these problems? We need to start getting to the bottom of this, the root cause of a lot of these issues, because we were put here to grow and ascend our wisdom, right? The universe's consciousness. Your spiritual endowment is your ancestors before you. When they pass away, they do go back to your frequency, and your spiritual inheritance is what they learned in their lifetime. The only problem is that we live in the land of distortion because we've all chosen lies and comfort over truth and solving problems. And so we need to get back to asking questions. We need to get back to problem solving. We need to get back to being eternally curious about whatever our divine purpose is. We are divinely curious about those things, right? We don't just accept the way things are. They're meant to grow and advance, not descend, right? Keeps them trapped in this cycle of reactive life, 9 to 5, but even more than that, grind the grind. No. In order to ascend, you have to be able to reflect. So you have to have a balance of production and peace and reflection. And you can't see anything when you're in the middle of it, right? It's hard to see things from the inside looking out. It's much easier to see things from the outside looking in. So we're supposed to be removing ourselves from situations and spending time alone in reflection to say, okay, what is really going on here? Because we've all been in scenarios and situations where they look so different once we're removed from them, like a marriage, a divorce. But I saw everything so differently when I was in the inside looking out. Once I removed myself, started really reflecting back, I had a lot more clarity, right? The whole picture didn't change, right? But the things I suspected I could actually, lay memorial credence to. And I've always been curious. I've always asked questions. And everybody is meant to do that. We're meant to ask questions. We're meant to be curious. We're meant to be nosy, right? Not for the sake of gossiping, but for the sake of learning, for the sake of making things better, for the sake of being better ourselves. And so in order to gain wisdom, you must ask questions. And the more you ask questions, and really you're asking them out loud to God, to the universe. You can go ask other people too, but I really just figure things out on my own and I ask questions out loud to God. And the wisdom comes to me and I will find the answers, actually. It will guide me to the answers in physical reality. I'll have more questions, more thoughts. And that's really how your intuition works. That's why I operate mostly on intuition, because I'm always asking questions and it's like a muscle. And then when you're willing to speak in absolutes, right? But you're willing to admit if you're wrong and you're willing to accept other people's opinions, your intuition gets even stronger because God can trust you because you're not operating on ego, right? You're operating on faith and wisdom. And so sometimes when we operate on faith and wisdom, we do get it wrong. And that's okay. You just admit it. If you want to strengthen your intuition, you want to be guided more by the Holy Spirit, start asking questions out loud. Ask questions. God, I'm curious. Why are there so many people with narcissistic traits? Or God, I love soccer. I love teaching these kids, but I can't seem to get them to the forward to do what I want them to do. How do I get them to do that? Why aren't they really doing it? Is there something I can teach them about their thought process that speaks to their soul? The answers will come to you and you'll be led to the solutions. I promise, because that is the way the universe communicates with us, is through us having faith and asking the questions to the universe. And the universe then internally, your nervous system guides you and then codes gets into your brain, translates into third dimensional thought, and then you're able to find the answers. And that really is how it works. So we need to get back to asking questions. Don't accept answers. Ask questions. Even if you think the answer might be right that someone else gave you, ask God. And see what God says, right? If you're led back to that answer and it feels right in your nervous system, then yes, that answer is correct. But don't just believe people. If something feels wrong, don't accept it as truth. Okay, high five your friend and go ask some damn questions.